Welcome to The Explainer. I want you to just look around for a second at the massive skyscrapers, the intricate transport networks, those sprawling industrial plants. The sheer scale and urgency of modern global infrastructure projects is absolutely staggering. I mean, think about a massive $5 billion international airport expansion happening right now. We're talking about modern marvels that require tens of thousands of moving parts perfectly syncing together day after day. These are monumental feats of engineering that literally define the way our modern world operates.
Which brings up a genuinely terrifying question, right? How do you actually coordinate hundreds, maybe thousands of specific project tasks, manage these massive, highly scrutinized budgets, and direct huge international teams without suffering a complete operational breakdown? Imagine managing a multi-billion-dollar build where one single delayed cement truck or, say, one miscalculated steel delivery triggers a domino effect that completely derails 6 months of scheduled work. The complexity isn't just immense, it is completely unforgiving.
Now, for a very long time, traditional planning methods and standard spreadsheets were the go-to tools for planners. But here's the catch. Spreadsheets are inherently static and isolated. They completely break down under the weight of thousands of interwoven dependencies. Using a simple spreadsheet for a modern megaproject, it's basically like using a hand-drawn sketch on a diner napkin to try and build a space shuttle. There's just no way it can keep pace with reality. What we require today is a dynamic, multi-dimensional blueprint. And that need for absolute precision is exactly why Primavera P6 has become one of the most trusted enterprise project management platforms across the globe.
Let's dive right into Section 1, Taming Modern Project Complexity.
To really understand the solution, we first need to look at why basic software just doesn't cut it anymore. Because we certainly aren't talking about a simple weekend office renovation here. Whether it's laying down vital national infrastructure, managing incredibly complex manufacturing floors, or erecting massive next-generation energy grids, these specific sectors all share one major thing in common. There is zero margin for error. Project managers working in these high-stakes fields have got to organize incredibly dense workflows with absolute precision and confidence. To survive, they need total visibility and control over every single nut and bolt.
Moving right along to Section 2, Intelligent Scheduling with P6.
So how does this actually work under the hood? Well, every successful project has to start with a rock-solid, structured plan. Think of a work breakdown structure, or WBS, exactly like the chapters in a massive, epic novel. You obviously can't just sit down and write a 1,000-page book in a single sitting. It's way too overwhelming. So P6 uses WBS to divide these intimidating projects into logical, bite-sized chapters and paragraphs. This ensures that you never lose the forest for the trees, granting you immediate progress visibility at every single level of the build.
Now, knowing your chapters is great, but knowing exactly what to focus your immediate attention on is absolutely vital. Enter the magic of the critical path method. You know the old saying, you can't pour the roof until the walls are up? Well, CPM identifies the precise sequence of activities that have zero wiggle room. If any single task on this specific critical path is delayed by even 1 day, the entire final project delivery date gets pushed back. By isolating this critical path from non-critical tasks that have a bit of flexibility, managers can proactively prevent fatal delays.
Let's put this into perspective. Imagine Task A is pouring a massive concrete foundation, and Task B is erecting the heavy steel frame. You obviously cannot trigger Task B until Task A is completely finished, right? But if that concrete foundation takes 2 extra days to cure because of some unexpected bad weather, well, that specific delay cascades down your entire timeline. P6 rigidly defines these logical relationships so your schedule accurately reflects the harsh realities of project workflows. It proves exactly why managing logical dependencies is absolutely critical to survival on a complex build.
To keep all of this cascading logic strictly on track, milestones, calendars, and baseline schedules step in to provide crystal-clear performance benchmarks. A baseline is essentially your original promise. It acts as a strict compass. Without continuously comparing your real-time, on-the-ground progress against that initial baseline promise, you have absolutely no idea if you're actually winning or losing against your schedule.
Which brings us to Section 3, Managing Resources and Costs. Because, of course, flawlessly managing time is really only half the battle. The other, equally crucial half is carefully controlling physical and financial assets. Mega projects succeed because massive pools of resources are managed with ruthless efficiency. We're talking about the delicate coordination of specialized labor, heavy equipment, raw materials, and incredibly tight budgets. Think about it.
If you have 50 tons of steel arrive on a Tuesday, but the specialized crane operator isn't scheduled until Thursday, you just paid for 2 days of a very expensive parking lot. Disconnecting these resources creates massive bottlenecks and bleeds money.
To solve those physical traffic jams before they ever manifest, P6 uses something called resource leveling. Think of this tool as a super proactive, incredibly smart digital traffic cop. It smooths out demanding workloads across the entire project lifespan to ensure you aren't severely overworking one specific crew on site while another highly paid crew sits entirely idle just waiting for a piece of equipment.
And then there are the finances, which can easily and quickly get completely out of hand. To prevent this, P6 is constantly running a crucial three-way comparison. Your planned budget set the baseline expectation. Your actual costs track the harsh financial reality of what you're actually spending today. And finally, future forecasts use predictive analytics to estimate exactly where you'll end up. This whole triad is designed to catch a tiny 2% cost overrun today before it snowballs into a $20 million disaster next year.
Next up is Section 4, Collaboration in the Digital Age.
So time and physical resources are now tightly managed, but how do hundreds of different experts actually communicate around this singular plan without causing total chaos? Well, large-scale builds involve a massive, complex web of independent stakeholders. P6 cuts right through the noise through seamless enterprise integrations. It connects directly with platforms like building information modeling, which are your interactive 3D digital blueprints, and enterprise resource planning tools that handle the high-level corporate side of things. This ensures that the beautiful 3D model the architect is viewing and the rigid schedule the contractor is holding are talking to each other directly.
This high level of connectivity permanently solves a classic, incredibly frustrating pain point. You know the one? The architect is working off version 4 of a spreadsheet, while the on-site contractor is building off version 2. What a nightmare. Centralized dashboards and real-time performance indicators ensure that every single stakeholder is operating from a consistent single source of truth. It entirely eliminates the guesswork and empowers fast, data-driven decision-making across the board.
Finally, let's zoom out for Section 5, the future of project management.
The digital transformation of the heavy industry sector is moving incredibly fast, and the tools on the horizon? They are deeply inspiring. Project management is rapidly evolving alongside some staggering technological innovations. For example, we're seeing the rise of digital twins, literally creating a fully functional, data-rich digital replica of a massive bridge or skyscraper before a single physical shovel ever hits the dirt. When you combine that with artificial intelligence and predictive analytics, platforms like P6 can now spot potential catastrophic risks in the simulation phase much earlier. Meanwhile, cloud collaboration allows distributed global teams to optimize these projects from anywhere in the world.
As our source material correctly points out, gaining practical knowledge of these systems is absolutely vital. For students and aspiring professionals in civil engineering or construction management, mastering these enterprise tools isn't just some simple resume booster. It's the fundamental barrier to entry for the major leagues. It's quite literally the difference between just being a passenger in a multi-million-dollar project and being the one confidently driving it safely to completion.
Which leaves us with one incredibly important final thought to consider today. Are your project management skills actually ready for the digital future? Because mastering these complex systems is exactly how we're going to build the world of tomorrow. I really hope this explainer gave you a strong, practical foundation on how modern digital platforms tame incredible real-world complexity. I highly encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep building your knowledge.